Good morning, students. So the topic for today's lecture is functions and objectives of HRM. So let us start with the scope of HRM because it will cover all the functions in itself. So the scope of human resource management is very vast and it involves all the decisions regarding the human resource management, which involves the strategies, factors, principles, operations, practices, functions, activities and various methods which are related to the management of people as employees in any type of organization. All the dimensions which are related to people in the employment relations and all the dynamics that flow from it. Human resource management is applicable in every organization, whether it be a very small organization or a large organization, whether it is a private organization or a government organization, whether it is a national company or it is an MNC or an transnational company. Everywhere human resource management is applicable and it is applied, and without an efficient and effective human resource management, no organization can successfully run. So these are various applications or the scopes of human resource management, where we can say that it involves the labor relations, the union and management relationship, employee assistance, compensation and benefits to the employees, training and development, selection and staffing, organizational design and the organizational development. And first of all, it starts from the human resource planning. Now let us discuss about various objectives of human resource management. So there is a diagram by which I have shown this. So firstly, there is a societal objectives under which the organizational objective is covered, and within which the functional objective is there, and then comes the personal objective. So this way the objectives of human resource management will be covered. You can take a small abbreviation or a formula to learn this human resource management objective, that is SOFP. See, S for societal, O for organizational, F for functional and P for personal. I repeat, SOFP. These are the objective of human resource management. आप इसको सॉफ्ट के फॉर्मूले से भी लर्न कर सकते हैं. सो लेट अस डिस्कस अबाउट द सोसाइटल ऑब्जेक्टिव ऑफ ह्यूमन रिसोर्स मैनेजमेंट. Societal objective of HRM seeks to ensure that organization becomes socially responsible to the needs and challenges of the society also. For example, we can take an instance where we can see equal opportunity for every segment and section of the society, whether they are the underprivileged people or the weaker section of the society, such as you have seen that there is a reservation system. Why this reservation system is formed in employment? Because the government wants, or the human resource management as a function or as a department of management wants, that every section of the society should be provided with the employment facilities at every job, in every level. So you have also seen that nowadays EWS is another category for general, that is economically weaker sections. Okay, so that is also covered under this societal objective of human resource management. Next come the organizational. So under this organizational organizational objective of human resource management, we find that human resource management as a department does not stand alone, or it is not a end in itself, but it is a means or a tool to facilitate other departments in the organizations. It facilitates and serves the rest of the organization so that the organizational objectives can be achieved. Then comes the functional objective of human resource management. Functional objective says that to maintain the department contribution at a level appropriate to the organizational needs, that every department should contribute towards the organizational objectives and it also ensures that every department is working properly and the human resources are to be adjusted to suit the other departments. Then comes the personal objective of human resource management, which actually takes care of the individual needs and aspirations of the employees, and it also takes care of their personal goals, and it assists and help the employees to achieve their personal goals because of which they have joined the organization, at least as far as these goals enhance the individual contribution to the organization. So we can say that what are various support functions of human resource management which are covered under these societal objectives. So we can see in societal objective itself the legal compliances. I have told you that there are various reservation laws and different labor laws which are there to protect the interest of employees. These are covered under the societal objectives. So it includes all the legal compliances, benefits, union management relations, etc. Then comes the organizational objectives. Under this organizational objectives, all the human resource planning, employee relations, selection, training, appraisal, placement and assessment of all the various departments are covered. For example, we can see that human resource management is a staffing function which takes care of the other department. They plan for the requirement of every department. For example, suppose in production department, if there is any vacancy or there is any requirement, then they will assess the actual demand, how many people will be required and how many people are actually working in the organization, that as they find the gap, and if there is a suppose there is a deficit of employees, then more people will be hired, and suppose if there is a surplus, there are more people who are already working in the organization, there is a surplus, then there may be a downsizing also. Few people may be also asked to leave the organization and like to downsize or right size the organization. So this is an organizational objective. As an HR department, they work for other departments also regarding their human resource planning, the employee relation. If there is any dispute between the various employees within the department, or maybe an employee of one department with another department. Suppose there is a dispute between an HR employee and with a marketing employee, then that will also be sorted out by the human resource management. Selection, training and all these kind of functions are facilitated under organizational objectives. So these are various objectives and their support functions. Then comes the functions of human resource management. See, we can divide the functions of human resource management under the managerial functions and the operative functions. If we see the managerial functions, then again the same managerial functions are applicable in human resource management also, which are planning, organizing, staffing, directing and controlling. Planning involves the human resource planning, as I've already told you in the previous slide, that how many people will be required and how many people are actually working. Then the gap provides whether there is a surplus or there is a deficit, and accordingly the further hiring or firing decisions are taken. Then comes the organizing functions, which involve the proper allocation of human resources in various departments, in various branches and in various offices. Staffing functions is also there, direction. So these are various functions of human resource management to guide and direct the employees, to organize the employees, and finally controlling function of human resource management is basically done through the performance appraisal processes, compensation management and through the employee counseling and guidance. Then the operative functions are there, which involves procurement, development, compensation, maintenance, motivation and integration. So the procurement function involves the acquiring decision, or we can say the hiring of employees, which is backed by the human resource planning process, or which is a we can say that it is a successive function of the human resource planning itself. It involves the recruitment and selection process of employees. Then comes development, which involves basically the orientation, training and development, and management development programs. These things are involved. Then comes compensation. So compensation is something which is the rewarding or remunerating part of human resource management, to reward employees by their salaries, benefits, incentives, etc. Then the maintenance function. Maintenance functions of human resource management involve employee engagement, employee counseling, performance appraisal, all these active, and training and development also. All these functions are covered under this maintenance function. Motivation, by boosting up the morale of employees by various human resource activities. Then integration. Also, it is a function of human resource manager to integrate all the activities of not only the human resource management operative functions, but also the managerial functions as their core responsibility. So now let us discuss about the difference between human resource management and personnel management. See, personnel is a word which was used earlier in the ancient times when the industry came into being. So it is a traditional term for human resource management, which is personnel management. So there is a basic difference. Many people think that both are same, but personnel management is an ancient or old approach or a traditional approach, whereas human resource management is a very modern approach. So now we will discuss all the differences on various bases by which we will compare both the things. So the first basis is meaning. Personal management, if we see, so we can say that we are talking about the workforce and their relationship with the entire organization. So here we take a personnel or a worker or a employee as a tool or as a machine or as a commodity by which we can create the output or the finished goods in the industry and earn profit. So personnel is treated as a mere resource of production or as a factor of production only, not as a human being. But in human resource management, we can say that it is a branch of management that focuses on the most effective use of manpower of an entity. So in human resource management, we can see that employee is the key resource, is the main element, is the main factor because of which the organizational objectives can be achieved. Because if there are efficient and effective human resources, then this is the main asset of any organization, and without good human resources, no organization can run. Even if there are good and efficient human resources, but the human resource management is not well, then also the organization cannot be a successful organization. So by a proper and a good human resource management, that is the management of all the human resources, we can effectively achieve the organizational goal, because human resource management is all about acquiring, developing, maintaining and retaining the valuable human resources of the organization. So the second difference is the approach. Second basis of difference is the approach. I have already told that personal management is a traditional term which used to be there, and now human resource management is a modern approach which is employee centric or a human resource centric. Then comes treatment of manpower. So I have already told you, in personal management, employee was used to be treated as a machine or tool with a time study, motion study and all these things. No emotional factor was there which was attached with the employee on the part of the employer or the management. But in human resource management, employees are treated as the assets or the valuable assets to the company, without which no organization can exist. Then comes the type of function. So in personal management, there used to be routine works of the human resources, like recording their attendance, making their pays, salaries, increasing their salaries, and finding out the manpower required, the man hours per week, and all these things, the load, the workload, and all these things. But in human resource management, the function is a strategic one, like how many people will be required in the future. For that, what kind of planning is required, means we have to plan and develop the career of the existing employees, and we have to make succession plannings also. Like suppose in a key position or in a top level management position, if someone at the post of CEO or VC leave the organization as he retires, maybe accidentally he dies or he switched to another company, then who is going to replace that key personnel of the company? So for that, a trustworthy person is required, which has to be posted internally in the organization. For that, he has to be developed that way. So that is a succession planning concept, which is a strategic one. So we can say that personal management involves the routine functions, whereas the human resource management involves the strategic function. Then comes the basis of payment. So basis of payment in performance personnel management was job evaluation, means by assessing the relative worth of each and every job, we provide salaries and wages to the workers or the personnels. But in human resource management, the main basis is the individual employee's performance, that it will be paid on the basis of how he works. If he is working well, he is performing very good, he is paid well, and he is not performing that way, then he will be paid less. Equal pay for equal work, or the reward to the efforts ratio should be same for all the employees. That is the Adams equity theory. Then comes management role as a basis for comparison between the two. So we can say that the management role was transactional. Transactional means that it was providing a coordination between the various levels of managers, or the line managers and the staff managers, and it was a transactional one, by based on the dealing and the give and take between various employees in the organization, by coordinating between them. But in human resource management, it is transformational. So the role of as a human resource manager, it was transformational, because a human resource manager not only provide a proper counseling and guidance to the worker, but also tries to develop them in terms of their career, from a lower level to a middle level manager, from a middle level manager to a top level manager. So that was all about today's lecture, guys, and these are certain references which I have used while teaching you these topics. In this lecture, we covered the scope of human resource management, various functions, and the objectives of human resource management. In the next lecture, we will be discussing human resource planning. So I will also share certain notes on your WhatsApp group. So please kindly go through all those notes, and please, you may call if you have any query or any problem regarding these lectures or the topic which you will be going through. Thank you very much.